Morning world. I haven't done that in ages. Morning world. How are you doing? Gorgeous flowers. We're not going to film anyone's house, but gorgeous. I might sound a little bit out of breath because I am stumping along the street. Not very fast. But I didn't manage to get rid of my winter body in time for summer. So we're putting in some extra work. I'm sharing this today because Keir Starmer just announced his resignation. And I thought, you know what? Whilst I'm out walking, shaking this fat ass, let me try and break down what's going on here. We are indeed in London. It is indeed a glorious day. Why am I doing my glory? This is my glorious voice of the world is collapsing. We must ascend. How will we get there? My ascension plan is locked in. I am not maxing at this time, but I am indeed life maxing. I am indeed a guru maxer. Yes, there is indeed a bus coming. It is going to the old town where I used to come from. The ends. Bait out your location, Miss Allen, so you can get chefed later this year, because the chefings are up. I'm actually going to the forest, but you can get a sneak peek into the hermatologist's mind. I was going to do face on, and I thought, you lot can't afford that because it's too pricey. My goodness. Okay. I really did want to address some stuff today because it's absolutely devastating. Because before, and this is let's take a minute. Pause, woosah. I'm so sorry that I'm heavy breathing. I'm fat. I can't really do too much about that this time. Not every day, slinting. But anyway, let's stay on track. This is a really important conversation. Really important conversation today that we're having. So, what we must address. I told everybody, vote Conservative. But everybody wanted to disrespect Rishi Sunak. First and foremost, hold tight Rishi Sunak for getting the seat when nobody even wanted to give man the seat. Everyone wanted to give the seat to a lettuce. Don't start me off. Rishi came in and did his big one. If you are not a baddie and you don't know what that means, big one, that means he was moving like the MVP of politics. I'm running across the road, guys. I can show you that. That's really against road safety. I forgot I was outside with you guys. You was witnessing my destructive patterns of crossing roads. Could I be any nerdier in my speech today? I couldn't. I nearly went, and I would have died. How atrocious. Okay. We're gonna run in a minute. So Keir Starmer. Firstly, let's talk to everybody on the right. We've got 5 seconds. Let's talk to everybody on the right, really simply, about the far right, about their confusion around kicking Keir Starmer out. Now, when you move a Prime Minister from the seat, everything shifts. What happens when a Prime Minister gets the seat is they have a manifesto, they have a dream, they have a vision, they have something that they want to manifest for the United Kingdom, for the nation. So when you give them the seat, they come in with all that vim, all that extra energy, all that vibe, all that belief system. And the moment that that occurs, as part of the campaign to win the seat, win the vote, we then step into the House, we then meet the King, liaise with his, what did Meghan call them? What did Prince Harry call them? Leave it in the comments, I forgot, genuinely forgot. There's a name, they told Oprah all about it. Nonetheless, no disrespect to them, but the society, the community, has to be taken into account. That is before we drop the D class. Come on, kids. Yeah? So Keir Starmer came in. He didn't know he was going to get hit with D class. He didn't know he was going to be given the top secrets of the institution that made his agenda and manifesto second in nature to the globalism that is indeed running the fucking world. And if you're a leader of a nation, it's gorgeous out today. Take it in. Take it in, because the shaman must shaman. Even in the thick of dystopia, kids. Come on. We're out today. This is really nice. This is normally this area here, right? Normally. Haven't been here in ages. I'm obviously not going to take you on my personalised routes because I'm a hermit and I'm private. So we're taking you to the more public locations today. But all of this is my land. I will show you. I've got many videos, but I delete them all the time because I don't like to share. I'm a hermit once again. But normally this area here is really, really low, and there's loads of little areas that you can walk through. But it's really, really grown up at this time. I don't know how long before they're going to decide to come in here and like just kind of totally cut it down entirely, you know. But nonetheless, it's gorgeous. And so healing when you're outside. You're just like, ooh, you know. But okay, back to the topic of conversation. He gets hit with a D class. That shakes everything up because there's been a lot of things that have gone on. And bear in mind, he's taking over from Rishi, where Rishi had a sharper exit and went for that general election. So in the midst of all of that, bear in mind, do you know what? We really came here to make it abundantly clear what Rishi Sunak done for the nation. This isn't about race, so don't get your bees in your bonnet, okay? Because it isn't about, well actually, do you know what? I always say it isn't about race because I feel like I have to balance out the status quo as a brown-skinned woman who has to constantly advocate for the fact that she's also mixed and has had an alternative lifestyle. So it makes me, and I'm an anti-bias researcher, so it makes me laugh. Should we go this way? The path's looking at us. Let's go. We'll go to the lake, shall we? But nonetheless, the conversation here. Rishi initiated the AI summit. Rishi made Elon Musk moody, big-headed. Yes, Elon, I'm talking about you today. Yes, May, I'm talking about your son. The irritation, and every time I act or message the Musk, straight away account stripped, shut her down, turn her off, how dare she speak, alternative, queer, ugh. I advocate for non-binary. We keep going, this isn't about me. Why are we talking about me, guys? Stop asking me questions. So, just take a minute. Look, it's so heavenly outside, isn't it? Like, imagine it's not even sunny yet. I'm out later than usual as well because it just happened that way. But look how gorgeous it is. It's just so serene. I love this place. Like, I feel so privileged and blessed when I do get to be in flow state. And oh, look at this squirrel. You just get to come out here and be at one. And I'm so anti oversharing at this time, beyond just typing words on the internet, to be honest with you, because I've been there and I've done that and I'm building something different. And what I will say about technology, we're going to waver in conversation today. I'm just going to let you have a sporadic piece of my brain. It's quite nice if you value alternative ideologies of wisdom. But there we go. There's one for sorrow. Every time you normally see one, you're like, one for sorrow. And then you're like, wait, where's two? And then over there in the distance, can you see it? Two for joy. Any more? Don't think so. But we're going to keep moving because this isn't a bird spotting phenomenon today. But what I understand about technology, and I try and share this a lot with influencers or anyone in the public eye that I kind of work with or kind of advocate for, because they get caught up quite frequently in numbers and what it means to be a public figure. And what I've learnt more than anything else, anyone else on the front line, all of you celebrities watching, yeah, the Kardashians, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, every single person out there who's ever built technology, right, Zucker, Elon, we can say Jeff and Bill, do you see them really posting? Do you really see them out there doing TikToks and social media influencing. No, they don't. Because they found another way to influence. They found another way to create, and it's alternative. It's incredibly different to the way in which the rest of us, which I was going to say muggles, but that's not quite fair, but it's, I want to say slave mind. That's more accurate, I'm sorry. But when I was in the middle of the social media versus reality experiment, and I really began to process what socialization was becoming in this digital field, this digital arena, I went, well, what am I doing here? This is the game area. This is the marketplace that isn't built yet. There's no real money here. There's just ranking, and I say that so ignorantly as well, because Kick, YouTube, everyone's making their living off of it. But are they? Some people are making loads more money than your standard 9 to 5 where I came from, working as a childcare worker. So the answer is social media. And how do we go here? How do we dissect this a little bit more? Because I want to now speak to you not only about manifestation, life, but how it shifts, how we go through paradigm shifts. Now, the luckiest people in the world, in my opinion, okay, I'm neurodiverse as I say this, they want one thing, they get that one thing, they know nothing outside of that one thing, and they are fulfilled and satisfied. Whilst the rest of us, greedy, thirsty, gluttonous, the 7 deadly sins can be used in many different contexts here. I'm a shaman. I embrace all religions, very spiritual, so we're not going to pin on the Bible and sin as an evil aspect that we should all run and shun from, nor is the devil something to fear in this paradigm. But what we will say is, at a certain point of evolution, we shift and change, and we want more for ourselves. Example, KSI now leaving Sidemen. It's time. I've got things to do. I've evolved. The man's already hosting on Britain's Got Talent. What's Sidemen bringing to the table realistically? We evolve. But certain other energies are, this is my life goal, this is my dream. All I ever wanted to do was be a sideman and connect with all my sidemen. That's my dream. You get, no offence to the crew, but that was what fulfills them. That's what fulfills them every day. They don't need TV shows or music or boxing. But Kay does. KSI, the neurodivergent individual, does. Right? There's always that 1% in the collective, and he's the richest as well. Let's throw that out there. He wants bigger numbers. He wants more. Gluttonous motherfucker he is. As am I. As are many of us who are neurodiverse. As I battle with my weight, right? And I know why when I battle with my weight and why I battle with my weight. I tell myself it's a sensorial thing, which doesn't make up for it in any way whatsoever. But it is the need for more, and it's not necessarily a gluttonous need. Like, there's a lack of fulfillment in an area of my life. There's an emptiness, there's a lack, there's a boredom, there's a depression, there's a sadness, there's unfulfillment. I'm unsatisfied to a certain degree. There's 100% of me and my chakras, me and my internal, me and my nervous system. Big issue when it comes to nerves, stress, anxiety, paranoia, overwhelm. Let's just eat to fill the void. Hermit on your own, spending a lot of time on your own. You're going to fill your time with what you can. In the winter months, something soothing and soft and lovely. That's sensorial, that's food sometimes, unfortunately. Yeah? If you are not cuffing in winter, you will be tonguing some Ferrero Rochers. Or other chocolates are available. But in relation to that, it also makes me think about unique individuals, connoisseurs, individuals that want to go out beyond and do unique stuff. It makes me think about rappers, MCs. It makes me think about people living in a rock pool, an ecosystem where they're quite suppressed and forced to be a certain kind of way when they have unique and different ways to live and be. So where do we go from here? Because I'm ranting now, and I realise that, and I lost the thread of conversation in the moment, which is going to fulfil many haters from my past. I always used to lose the thread. Let's tap in on that. Because as I lost the thread of the conversation, listen to this, we're going to move along on the path. As I lost the thread of conversation, I said, oh my gosh, I best quickly pull myself back and find out where I was going in the mind, because I had a point before that. I was making a clear statement that was leading to a further element of conversation, but I've lost myself in this monologue. My goodness, how shameful. In the past, it used to be a situation of, I've lost the thread all the time on social media, on my old accounts that don't exist now, and my YouTube where everything's turned off. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've lost the thread. And what was coming to me, weirdly enough, beautiful how dreams work and visions work, I had a vision last week where a specific person from my past was going to me, oh well, you always used to use the thread, so I didn't really believe in you. Oh, you finally found the thread now. Oh well, I couldn't take you seriously because you always lost the thread when I watched your content, right? Sit with that, because that annoying stalker will probably eventually find this video, and then they can suck on my giant invisible ball. And whilst I bust a nut all over their faces in disgrace, because they are beneath me now. You cunt. You're welcome. Yeah? Okay. We saw. Be nice, Louise. Be nice. Remember, you can pretend to be nice. No, you don't have to pretend to be nice. You shoot wastemen in the face with your lyrical tongue. That's what you do. Okay? Okay, back on track. So you like the yin and yang of it all. That's what we call truth and realism. My lord, critical realism is lacking in today's society, so we're pushing for it. Okay, staying on track, whilst also explaining why it's so important to lose the thread. If you know anything about me, and anything I believe in, hello, you all right? She just came up to me. She was like ready to start on me. I was like, my God, please don't start on me. I don't want no problem. Don't want no problem with you, man. Okay. Okay. It's nice to let you guys into my crazy mind when I just choose to be free. Oh, okay. So we're going to keep going. I love it out here. I don't get out enough. I like to come out in the morning when it's absolutely empty. But the point about losing the thread is allow your mind to just do shit. Yeah? Allow your mind to just go there. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a solution. You don't need to have the answer. You don't need to have the right words. I always tell people as well, because I've done public speaking coaching, right, for the young specifically. But it's like you have to take that risk. I also had a vision this morning of when I used to work with really, really big groups, young adults, and I had a vision of one time when all of the staff were standing together and we were going to start planning. And this is really the sporadic part of me, which is funny that came to me this morning as well. But we all kind of stood separate from the group. There's like about 100 or so young adults, all like 15 to 18, all in a massive circle. And everyone's kind of moved away, and we're all kind of a little bit nervous, and everyone's like, oh, what are we going to do with them? And in that moment I just couldn't take the energy or the fear or the nerves or the conversation that was going to build up within our leadership team. So I just walked straight into the middle of the circle and started, and I just winged it. Like, that's kind of me. That's the empathic and conscious version of me too, where no, I don't know what I'm going to do. No, I'm not sure how I'm going to respond. But if we pull away from the group now and spend the next 10 minutes on debating on how we turn this into something amazing, and not just start them off and like bring the energy up. Obviously, I'm all about chi and energy, so I can see that the energy needs to rise, and I can see everyone's nervous, and the nerves in the room are building. So if the leaders in the room start acting nervous and unsure, and should you speak first? Should I speak first? Who wants to lead on this? We start to lose momentum immediately. I can't do it. I need chi, I need flow, right? So in that moment, I just went straight into the circle, took the only seat that was left there. Now I'm the lead in the room, and everyone's just staring at me. And that same breath, I'm normally confident and bubbly, but that's the moment I started. I was like, morning, guys. So what we're doing today is, and I got a little bit rattled, like my voice started to crack. in staff meetings all the time in my old workplace. About 25 staff in the circle every other Monday, sitting there, voice starts to crack. I'm the first one to speak, but my voice is cracking, and I'm sitting on my hands because I'm trying to stop them from swinging all over the room as I'm cussing about the last 2 weeks of activities that were or were not positive, and all the staff said that they refused to bring to the fucking foreground when it really fucking matters. So I'm swinging, tongue wagging, and I'm shaking. Sometimes I'm shaking near tears, right? That's not so much losing the thread. That's insecurity, that's fear, that's panic, that's overwhelm. But you know what that is more than anything else? That's courage, that's confidence, and that's consistency with self. That's me making sure, do you know what? I don't know about all of you, and I don't know about your internals, but my sacral's off. That's your second solar plexus, that's the orange one, yeah? My sacral is low-key unsettled by the fact that I don't have control over this situation. And we can look at that as somewhat narcissistic. You can judge my ego and personality all you want to, right? But I'm going to pin that to neurodiversity, and I'm going to pin that to unique identity, and I'm going to pin that to being a clairvoyant shaman in the now. And I'm going to pin that to being absolutely insecure, timid and fragile if I don't have absolute control over my chi and energy. So that's why I choose to do that. That's why I'm moving the way that I do. Yeah? Because I don't want to be debilitated. I don't want to be lower or less in relation to anyone else, but unless to me and my external auric field that exudes outside of me. I can't explain it any more than that. All I think about is Avatar the Last Airbender, and when he's in Avatar state, I'm not trying to step away from my Avatar state. Gorgeous tree. I haven't climbed trees in ages either. Not the easiest tree to climb because I like a tree with a little. Well, actually, I'm always plus size. I always moan like I've never been plus size my whole life and still done great things, but I would like a better footing probably here. And I'll probably have to lose about half a stone to feel safe enough to even put my fat ass in that position, to be honest. So let's keep going. Yeah? And do you see how I just went on a rant? I lost the thread, but I just carried on talking anyway because we're having a conversation. So to that, and the thing is, when you hear, this is what I learned as well, about being in hermit mode. When you hear kind of other voices in your head, right, or other opinions telling you kind of negative stuff, and I say that on a spectrum because if that is really, really occurring, you're hearing other voices in a really, really negative way, you're going to want to get that checked. Let's be honest. You're going to want to talk to somebody about that. You're going to want to understand what's going on there. I've done more than enough psychological research to understand how to perceive internal, external. Like I've had enough validity as well. Like if I hear something, feel something, or feel like there's something wrong with someone around me, I've done enough background research and gone and checked to find out, I had a vision that you were crying. I heard you say you needed help with this. Is that true? And then I contact that person and yeah, I do need help with that. Yeah, I was crying this morning. Do you get what I mean? So I took that risk again, that confidence, that sacral. I didn't want to make myself imbalanced. I didn't dissociate from my forbidden senses, clairsense-wise. And I trusted and I went with it. And as a result, I discovered truth and sound assurity in my processing. And when we talk about losing strings and losing threads, right? Let's pin that to string theory, M theory. M theory is questionable, we say, right? But string theory, mechanics, chakras, fringes, D-brains, mechanics. Quantum mechanics is where I'm at now in my career. And I'm only at quantum mechanics now because the strings that I was so happy to explore and lose all the time, it's like, you know why I love string theory so much? And I advocate for pseudoscience more than ever now, because when you think about conspiracy theorists and you think about all the crazy memes of them with the red strings all over the wall and all the pins and the photos, it looks crazy, right? It looks absurd. They're so realistic, you can't believe in them. Look at all these threads. At least they're not loose for the conspiracy theorist. The conspiracy theorist went through a period of time in their life where the strings were so loose in their mind, they had to start pinning them up. So don't judge someone who loses the thread of conversation. Don't judge someone who chokes in a rap battle, let's say it like that, because that comes to my mind, or loses their way. I've seen a couple choking rap battles that kind of stick in my mind, and they're actually some of my favourite, because it's like, damn, like the psychology of it's amazing. But the point is, when you lose bits of yourself, that's the divine going, you're not quite there yet. You've got a hypothesis. You've got a philosophy. I love this area here too. You've got a philosophy. Dig. Keep going. Because it's the same person that's making fun of you for choking or losing the string or losing the thread that ain't even been out there to find it. They ain't got their own ball of yarn, but they're capping. Yeah? Capping. And the reason you're annoyed that my string is not seamless and ongoing and that I lost the thread is because you're using my thread. You're using my little piece of thread to survive on, aren't you? Attitude problem I have today. Do you hear me? My God. You know when you've got internal unresolved beef and you're just like, raw. Chill, sis. Bring it back down. It's okay. It's okay. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Hug a tree today. Hug a tree. Come on, guys. There we go.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous out. I want to be here for hours with you guys because the content and the algorithm always suggests that it's got to be 7 minutes or less, 12 minutes. You don't want to ruin the algorithmic vibration. You must do what the machine demands. So naturally we're going to stay on and keep going for a little bit longer because I could talk for England. As you know, I've got loads of content out, guys. Go and watch it. Why not? Why not? So gorgeous, guys. Should I be filming this way? Should I have been filming this way the whole time? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Will I do more of these? Do you think this will help me get out more? When I was really, really fit and I first shaved my head and I was in my... I just... You know when you just pull up to Zion, when you just come out of the gloop that Neo comes out of and you just get the thing in the back of your head and you escape the Matrix for real? That's where I was. That's when that's kind of the last time I'd done content. And then I just went into Zion mode. And it's been a really long time I've been in Zion mode. That's the problem. No idea what angle's best. But this is gorgeous. I'll give you a little scape of this because, I mean, you've got to love the outside. It's so... Like, if you're a naturalist, a naturist, I mean, this is sexy. This is sex. I've been celibate for a long time. This is porn. I advocate for a lot of porn and post a lot of porn, but nothing makes me more horny than this. Look at that. I wish I was joking. I'm so disgusting. Save me, Lord. Okay. Trees. Peace. Does this help any of you? This is like timeline cleansing. We're going to do this more frequently. Maybe once a week. Because I'm shifting. I'm shifting. I always like to do these things. But I'm working out once again in relation to technology how much I do want to be present on the platform, how much I don't, how much of me needs to go away and build the machine, engineer this new reality, what pieces and parcels do we bring forward first, and in what way do I want to show up, and how relevant are my numbers in the grand scheme of things. Because you don't have, like, the greatest life hack for me is being able to share my art and craft with the world without that celebrity status, without that extra pizzazz, that's not even a word, but it is now, pizzazz. It's just that extra pizzazz, that element of, oh, I'm outside and I'm doing this. I like to be inside. I like to be quiet, yeah? New Year's, yeah, I'm going to give myself the rest of the year to just be me and not do anything overly social media other than continue to be a shit poster on X, because that works for me. All swans are out. But the reason that is because when everyone's turning up at New Year's, I like to be inside meditating. My preferred New Year's, yeah, for the last potentially decade, yeah, normally at New Year's, there's even a part that in my old location, let's just say it like that, there used to be a party, big boy party, and I used to just go to my room and go, no thank you, I don't want to get drunk, I don't want to get high, I don't want to get lit, I want to meditate. Do you know when and it's a new year, I mean, it's Is it the Gregorian calendar? Am I saying that right? Who cares? It's a calendar that I don't really... I'm going to say fucks with, but that's unfair. I fucks with everything. I'm anti-bias in that regard. I respect the calendar. I don't like Julius Caesar. Let's put that out there. Waste man. Yeah, some evil little sorcerer who capped all over our planet. I'm not having it. But that's a whole other conversation. I value the Mayan calendar and the Tzolk'in for multiple reasons. Look at this gorgeous swan today. It's normally loads. Sometimes you come out here and the place is flooded. Hello? Hello, gorgeous. You come in? I haven't got any food. I'm sorry. We're not really meant to feed you anyway. Come and say hello to everyone. Come on, girl. She's not sure. If I get a bit rowdy, she might start. You come in? Come on. You look gorgeous today. How you doing? I'm a bit noisy. I'm sorry. She said I'm a bit noisy. She said rein it in a little bit. She's not interested in all that extra. All right. I'm sorry, darling. How are you? You all right? How you been? I feel so blessed to live here, you know? Sometimes I forget of what a blessing it genuinely is to be a shaman, right? And to live in the West. And I started research a really long time ago about what it meant to be East and West, or Eastern philosophy in the West. And it felt really, really lonely to kind of try and work my way through it. I've never been well off. Oh, look at her shining for us. Oh, go on, girl. Go on. Oh, she is making herself known today. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You sharing? You sharing your heart with us today? Do you want to come a little bit closer? Come on. Come on. Don't be shy. If I had wellies on, I would get in there with you, but I don't today. I'm sorry. I'm going to get some wellies. How you been otherwise? Have you got anything to let me know about Earth? She said it's not worth knowing at this time. Any insights you want to give me? Where's the black swan? I haven't seen her in a while. Gorgeous. Wow. She said she's doing well. She said come back in about a week, yeah? And she's going to tell me more. She said come back in a year and there's going to be breaking news. So let's pin today, okay? What's today? The 21st or the 22nd today? Not sure. Losing train of thought. But she's saying come back around 21, 22 July. I love animals, guys. 21, 22 June, July. She's saying July. Oh my, she's giving me dates. Okay, 21, 22 July 2027. There's going to be some major changes to our lives, to the way we're living. Breaking news. Breaking news. You see how we just had breaking news with Keir Starmer today? Sun's coming out. It's getting really hot here. Nice. But you know how there's breaking news today? That's going to transcend. You're going to see the effects of it really take place. Oh gosh, that's what we came for, isn't it? I love how animals bring me back. Do you see what happens when you let go? And what I will say to anyone who has been hated on, and to that one person that's still giving me that low energy of, at least in my mind, because we carry trauma, don't we? So when people tell us stuff, it stays in your brain. And then that's kind of your sign to get away. When you still hear that negative person tearing you down for the way that you lived or the way that you process information, especially when you're neurodiverse, unique, clairvoyant, and people are telling you your gifts are not real, you're a pseudo-scientist, the shit you do ain't genuine, you get into a dark place, a dark night of the soul, and you've got to work your way out of it. And in that same moment, you've got to make sure you clear the roster, you clear these people from your reality. I don't need you in my space. I don't need you around me. I don't want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to know you. Yeah? I need oneness, I need peace, I need me. Because in that same breath where I've just taken the time to have a little random conversation with that swan, I worked with kids for ages. I get down to their level, have a conversation. And in the same breath, one kid's talking to me, 2 years old, crying for their mum. The 5-year-old has got snot running out their nose. The 4-year-old's tripped and grazed their knee, crying, screaming. And then another one's biting another one. Yeah? So in the same breath, when you're neurodiverse and you work in those kind of environments, yeah? And what I realised as well, getting off track but so important, gorgeous little dog out there playing, so important, is only when I really, really left early years did I realise how neurodiverse I was and how I don't fit into any other working environment easily. The reason my clairvoyance, my neurodiversity went unnoticed for such a long time was because I spent most of my adulthood and those years working in early years as a child. Because I'm playing Spider-Man. I'm jumping into the ball pit. I'm climbing towers. I'm building massive blocks. I'm playing with the children in the same way that we are all kind of at the same level. I'm crawling on the floor, I'm making Play-Doh, but I'm not just making the Play-Doh and sitting there and watching the children play with it. I'm making something with them. We're all playing together. That's called integration. That's called a real childcare worker who knows how to do the job. And I've done a lot of stuff with special needs kids, so you have to mirror them. So if this child with autism is lying on the floor making sounds, a lot of time in their educational healthcare package, mirror the child, make the same sounds. So I'm lying on the floor with this child doing the same stuff they are, and it's part of your profession, right? Like, we've got speech and language therapists trained to do these kind of things, psychologists trained to do these things. Not a lot of people do it in the right way because they're insecure, I'll say that, and the confidence isn't there. I used to do mass storytelling for all the children, and the biggest issue for me when I done mass storytelling is when the adults were watching. Because the adults would just freeze and stare at me. And I would be so insecure because the adults are so judgy-wudgy. The children are rolling on the floor, fits of laughter, wetting their pants, screaming, laughing, going bananas. And the adults are just staring, screw-face. Or not even a screw-face, but just solid stare. And they're loving it. It's great. But you know there's so much more judgment and observation instead of just enjoying the experience, you know. So I've been incredibly blessed to be in a situation over and over again where I've had the benefit and privilege of being a big kid all the way up until I was at least, let's say, 30, 27. In between 27 and 30, I started to phase out of that era. Up until then, I was still in childhood. In the mind, in my lifestyle, so immature, so naive, yeah? It explains why I'm such a hippie now, and explains why so many empaths and people that I know work with children, nursery nurses, childcare workers, yeah? Child entertainers, dressing up as like clowns and circus acts and stuff like that. A lot of us do that as well. Incredible how it all evolves, how we evolve, you know? Working with children's just been the massive blessing in my life. And what I will say as well, it was a really, really difficult shift, and that's what a lot of people won't understand as well. And I pray that anyone in the childcare education sector that could be related to what's going on now, we'll come back in July 2027, on the 21st or the 22nd, and we'll review this. And we'll review it specifically in regards to childcare and education, because I walked away from the childcare and education sector and even written my notice clear as day. I'm really concerned about the well-being levels of staff in this environment, not only that parents, because I've done kind of outreach stuff. Even after leaving that job and going on to another job, a lot of stuff I identified in outreach, on home visits, the mental health of parents, especially those most deprived, the living circumstances of these parents, and the weight of the world on the staff, and the staff having a lot of problems in their life, a lot of drug addiction, yeah, a lot of alcohol addiction, a lot of abusive partners. I remember everyone in childcare and education, at least in the UK, the standard salary, from what I last remember, haven't dived into the figures, but we're looking at less than 30k. At the highest paid job, less than 30k. So a lot of shifts are going to happen, especially with AI, and they've already reduced the amount of staff you need. Like, you need a teacher, but you don't need a teaching assistant. Yeah, so a lot of teachers, especially when I'm in my kind of final days, it was a situation of, we don't really need a TA. We don't really need that teaching assistant. We just need the teacher to run the class. And then we can have one TA to hover between, only when it's PPA time, which is out of hours time for the staff to kind of catch up on their filing. A lot of settings didn't even have the proper means to manage staff doing their files, so they did their files on their off times. On their weekends, they're doing filing. So a lot of stuff like that. Really influencing how our mental health is and how we evolve. And a lot of people, I realise as well, even back then, a lot of people didn't have jobs. A lot of people I grew up with didn't work at all. Couldn't fit in, couldn't find their way. And a lot of that is where we come from, yeah? I want to speak about gypsy culture so much. Gypsy culture and Jamaican culture are kind of real influential cultures for me growing up, because being Jamaican, one thing, having like kind of gypsy heritage further down the line that no one even really alive knows too much about now. I get that from my ancestors. They tell me so much, and my nan tells me a little bit of stuff. My great nan tells me more, and my great aunt also comes in and tells me stuff as well. They've really shared a lot with me and opened me up to exactly why we had chalets and why we was always caravanning, because that's in our heritage and DNA, and why I do tea leaves and tarot, and where we really come from. I'm really lucky that I spent enough time with my nan, and we travelled around England quite a bit to visit my dad, and we went to a lot of caravan sites that I had that culture. And not a lot of people will see that as a positive, but when you grow up in like Haringey and you've got gypsy caravan sites on every place there wasn't a council estate, there was an empty caravan site, and it was wild, fun, crazy. And when I look at the world today, I see my personality in them. I see who I am, because I would be talking to those on the gypsy caravan site, and they're like throwing out the N-word and arguing with others, and then I'm always getting involved because I'm a loudmouth, and they're like, what are you getting involved for? Whose side are you on? Because I'm cussing whoever's starting on the gypsy, because normally it's racist, culturally hateful motherfucker. So I'm obviously always backing the gypsy. I was going to say, there's a lot of words that I'm not allowed, I don't know if I'm allowed to use, but I would use back in the day, but I don't know if that would offend the gypsy or not. But you know, when you feel like your tribe, you can say what you want, but they'll be like, who are you talking to, you absolute N-word? You know, but I have memories in my head, right, of, let's go down here, we haven't been down here in ages. I have memories in my head of, they're like, you N-word, what are you saying? I'm like, shut up, I'm on your team, I'm supporting you, shut up. They're like, go and ask your people who I am, please. They're like, do you know her? Do you know this nigga, this one? They're like, yes, she's ours, she's one of ours. Like, she always backs us in the beef. Okay, shut up then, twats. Do you know what I mean? But it makes me laugh now because I see where we're going in the world in the future and kind of what's needed. And then I see how I've developed to be me. And I say that whilst I have decided to absolutely wear a full-on turban today. Like, it's literally one of my purpley flower scarves that I've just thrown on, because I didn't want to just step out with my full-blown neon pink and green hair, because you're a hermit, right? And you like to live in your own way and do your own thing and keep yourself to yourself. But in that same breath, stepping outside with bright neon green and pink hair that everybody sees, it's a talking piece, it's a conversation, it's a stop in the street moment. And you would think that I want that because of the way I'm dressed, right? Or how loud I am. You see how I'm bubbly and I'm loud and I'm out there. That's just my natural personality and demeanour. That don't mean I want none. That just means I'm doing me, and I just want to say what I want to say because I've got a big mouth. But it's hard because I want to step out and not be seen. But my hair is going to create conversation. Not that I don't want conversation. I'm not trying to be rude to you random people outside that I meet, but it's like I just want to be incognito but still funky as fuck, you know? Like, so the balance is sometimes I have to step out and look normal. If I could just be me and step outside and wear what I want to wear, it would be a shutdown in the town, and which is why I need to move to a really nice Caribbean island and just chill, you know. It's gorgeous out. I never even go this way, so I'm not sure where it's leading me. We might be heading towards the car park, so if we are, oh, I know where we are. I've never come this way though. I always enter this way. Okay, should we go over and call it? This is my thing, like this is just what I like to do. I'm gonna keep sharing these little golden nuggets, I think. Gorgeous, I love pieces like that. Do you see how gorgeous that is as an art piece even? Do you see that? I love trees, man. It's just like, it's like, all of this is really sexy too. But I get visions in my head of all this whole area becoming a massive, and actually a bit of land that I do want and that I do want to renovate would ideally look like something like this. And I've kind of had experiences in places I've worked in the past where they've built stuff like this, but it's kind of like bridges and little huts and walkways that take you up into the tree, yeah? So all this area wouldn't just be like this. It would have so many more layers above the ground where you could walk up and down, yeah? It's a bit like a marble run, yeah? A marble run of trees, and we literally are the monkeys, evolution, Darwin on it, yeah? Not a racist context. I always say monkeys about everyone because that's where we come from. Like, if someone calls me calls me a monkey, even if it's in a racial sense, I just like bow and curtsy out of like, thank you for noticing, because Darwin is real. Even if you don't blood clot, believe it. Yes, we evolved, motherfucker. Like, I was like, respect. Like, homage. Yeah. You know the way, blessings. It's never a problem. You know what I mean? And this is what's so beautiful about life and alternative ways of living and choosing to be you. I swear, I cuss, I'm rude, I rap on occasion, then I do poetry, I will say the N-word, I will talk on really complex issues. I will stand and get gritty and rude, but in the same moment when I'm showing you that outward expression of self, it's not fake, it's not forced, it's an element of my chi that I'm giving you in the now moment, but I can return to center. I can be one again. I can be whole, you know? And I just feel like that's something we don't really address enough. I'm not going to go out that way because I actually don't want to go down to the, all the way down at the other path. Well, this is a straight route. It doesn't really take me anywhere. So we'll lap round. It's nice. And I'm going to consider the best way to kind of make this kind of content in the future and assess how good the audio on this. This isn't even my good phone. Like, what I have, I shouldn't tell you. Should I tell you? I'm in between devices. Can we say I'm in between life? And no, that sounds silly. I'm in between states of consciousness. That makes more sense. Because it's a situation of, okay, we could go this way, really, really open way, or we could go this way. I like the idea of going this way, so we're going to go along here. But being in between states and in between everything, especially in relation to technology, is I'm building something that's never been built before. I am a real methodical person and a perfectionist. For years and years, you can go and look at the website and my timeline of entrepreneurship. For a really, really long time, I've just been building. I admire Jeff Bezos and all the years he spent to build Amazon. I admire absolutely everyone in relation to time, because I understand how much they have genuinely. Okay, we shouldn't have went this way, really. It's so dark and dingy. Oh, should we go with... I like little things like this, guys. Oh, it's... Okay, and we've got people in here, so bear that in mind. Okay. But... Oh, we really do. See, it's not only me here. It gets busy in the fun environments. But, yeah. Hiya.
Hello there.
How are you doing?
What's that, guy? You on your way?
What was that?
What's that, guy? You on your way?
I'm just filming a little bit and talking.
Well, not much to cut it all down, isn't there?
In this area, over there, it's really built up on the other side.
No, I mean all the trees look all cut down.
Yeah, I know. In this
full of
area.
trees.
I know. The other side, though, that other entrance,
Oh yeah.
it's all built up still.
Oh well.
They haven't cut any of it down.
Well, give them time.
Yeah, that's what I said to
Perhaps
everyone in
have
here.
your axes sharpened. You're looking nice.
Thank you. So are you. You look fabulous.
Well, do my best.
Taking some time.
Well, getting in the shade, mate.
Yeah.
Not many seats over here now. Used to be all dead trees you could sit on.
I know.
Now they're building them up and make photos out of them like that. Guy Fawkes night coming up.
Oh, yeah, they must have an event or something going on. Oh, enjoy yourself. Have a good day.
Yes.
Look at this. Oh, it's nice out here, yeah. It's going to be Guy Fawkes. Well, is it? That's November. No, I don't know. It's nice out. Look at it out here, though, guys. If you love a tree, if you love nature, then this is the most beautiful art gallery you could ever. Look at that. Look at the view. Do you see that? Do you? Can you? If you, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But if you can't look at this and see that this is glorious and this is an art piece, then I can't help you in life. Then you definitely are in dystopia, because this is just everything to me. Ooh, it's what I live for. Let's go and look at some of these trees. The trees that are really kind of have lots of branches hanging out but no leaf on them. And we should probably talk about Jamaican language as well. In Jamaica, we speak what is seen as broken English, is patois. We're just Irie. So we don't need to say the full speech. We just pull out some of the letters, pull out some of the extra words in the sentence and just run it. We're smooth when we flow. It's easy, you see me? It's just, you see me, you see me. We flow, it's different. We don't understand that. And there's been so much disrespect in the UK. How you bring in a truckload of Jamaicans from back a day, before I was even born, Grandma came here with a whole truckload of Jamaican picnic, half born here, half born in Jamaica, and you don't teach patois to English. You never once taught patois in school. What is that? We fucked up. Why did no one see that? And the only way to save that now, and I always like to share, Rishi, I'll send this to you. God knows you won't be watching this for an hour or so. But the point is, now, because I respect the Conservatives. We're going back and forth. But I respect the Conservatives. My dream team, the best government I've ever noticed, whilst I was rising up and building my tech, and I needed to really learn more about government, my position with it, and what I needed for the future, and what utopia really, really looked like. It was Kemi, under Rishi. It was Oliver, under Rishi. It was James, cleverly. And it was Jeremy Hunt. But the propaganda's there, isn't it? The propaganda is there, the noise is there, and everyone gets shuffled and moved out of their seats because of the noise. Not because of what needs to happen, because as I said in the beginning, didn't I? We're not going to go any further with these trees, I'm sorry, we've got to keep going. But what you've got to understand, there is way more that is going on in that house than the minuscule stuff that comes out on the news. And the war and the drama that's only picking up now, and the economy. And this is about the whole world at large, not just ours, especially with all the stuff going on in Russia, Ukraine, the cyber issues, China, the tariffs, Trump, yeah? So it's so much more. And I was in love with, and this is ego, let's go. I was in love with myself and my alignment to the universe when Rishi was at the helm, because he was really championing AI, and that's where we need to be. And that was when we first ever started getting the rumblings of BTC. That's when we first started seeing the first ever papers really coming into the HM Treasury regarding cryptocurrency and stable coins and their position in today's society. This is where we started looking at de-dollarization and decentralization and where that fits into the future of humanity. Yeah? Head screwed on. The reason people don't like Conservatives, once again, is because of the ideology that they focus on the rich and they don't give too much to welfare. Because if they did, we'll be looking like the world is today. My old account that I don't have anymore on X, on every fucking platform that fucking exists, I really went in on what our future would look like under Keir Starmer. And what gets me more than anything else, as much as the collective hate Keir Starmer, and they have this chant and they're tearing him down left, right and centre, what they don't really internalise or realise more than anything else is we are one nation. You want to back the person in the seat. You want to champion their leadership. You want to hone in on the good things they're doing, and you want to put the pedal to the metal, right? In regards to driving forward with that agenda that works, churning them in the right way. Yeah, we need opposition and backbench, but it tears us down. I'm telling you now, that when, as a Labour government, there is nobody other than, no, at this point, as we started, I could have said Angela Rayner. I could have thrown in a few other names as well. But at this point, you see Wes Streeton didn't even try. Couldn't cut the mustard. Wouldn't survive it. A day. He would be out less than before Liz Truss. Do you get what I mean? So it literally is only Keir Starmer. You've got to understand the level of work it takes to download the global intelligence before you even start championing your nation again. The moment you get into the seat of the House, you have to get a download, a loud pack, yeah? Hardcore intelligence on the nation. That a lot of that's D-class. Yeah, you don't ever want to pull up to the House and get slapped in the face with D-class when you're a humble labourer representing Labour. Labour's so naive as well. Conservatives are switched on. They carry monetary economics in their back pocket, and they're financially better off because they're not. Choose your own word, because I nearly slipped and cracked my lip on a problem. but the point being, Conservatives are doing the right thing, because this is harsh, and this is what people may not like about me and my views, right? Because there's two ways to go with this. You choose to be a Conservative that focuses on our position as a nation for long-term survival, yeah? Long-term sustainability. I've never been this way, guys. I am in love with it. I love views, yeah? So you see how gorgeous this is? Super autistic I am. The geometry of this that I see, just in my mind's eye, through numbers and literally the whole of the fucking planet, when I look at it from a distance, when I'm on my own in an open space like this, all I see is a graph chart. Do you get, graph chart paper? And I just start scaling, like, where are we going next? That's exactly why her metaverse is elite. And it's early days. Remember, we're swerving around conversation today, just free-flowing with you guys. Haven't spoken in ages, so to you guys like this, so we're going to be everywhere. But that's how we ground ourselves for future delivery. It's the idea of just going with it all and letting all the pieces come together. That's what it is. Yeah, you can't control every atom and particle, but you can observe it. You can watch how you behave in flow state. You can review and reflect on your communication style and what did or didn't go your way, right? I also, when I speak, I speak about multiple different disciplines. You can go to hermitology.me and you can look at the multiple different disciplines I cover. I feel so privileged as well, not only to have so much nature on my doorstep. Thank you, so much blessings to everybody who helped get me to where I am today, and the location that I'm in. Thank God, like, God is so real, and I'm so grateful for everyone who blessed me, right? But I have so much different disciplines and belief systems, and I've recently been reading Peter Russell, and his book dated as early as 1982, before I was born, yeah? And it goes in, like, he's not only has he studied physics, mathematics and psychology, he really embraces so many other disciplines that are really, really I don't know what the word is, niche, when mixed and meshed together. And I don't know how well recognised Peter Russell is and who he's worked with, but in the book that I'm reading right now, which is The Awakening Earth, look at this. I've never done this this path in reverse. I always go this way because I come from the other end in the morning. I shouldn't tell you my business, but if you know, you know, right? But I'll go all the way up to the top and I'll come back down this way. I never come up this way, so I've never seen that little gorgeous little house just out there in the distance, just positioned between this. Like, I've always loved, like, meadow views, and, like, looks like this, so I absolutely adore this view. And when I come outside and I see stuff like this, it really reminds me of my my nan, who's passed away on my dad's side, because she lived in a really gorgeous cottage. She always had a really like cottage-like houses. And my uncle would, he used to be a gardener, and he used to do her house up so nice. And she used to have these sunflowers, right, that were taller than her. So when I used to visit her house, it used to be amazing because the sunflowers were taller than me and taller than her, and she could just, I've got photos of her standing next to the sunflower, and it's just such a personal, deep memory of her. And every time I see a sunflower or I get a sunflower or anything like that, it's a really symbolic message of her. And the same with roses. My nan's mum, who passed away early on, her name was Rose. So anytime I see a red rose, I really take that as a sign from Rose as well. Can you see that butterfly? Gorgeous. So nice to just be out when you can and just take in the views. And I don't always do it. You've got to be honest. I'm trying to motivate myself a little bit more, because I did speak about that that satisfaction, didn't I? That life satisfaction. And I spent all of last year, all of the last few years in mechanics so thick, so deep. I was like, the more I listen to Peter Russell, the more I fall in love with me. And once again, ego, narcissist, I'll slap my big invisible dick around left and right, guys. I couldn't care less what you think. Yeah, self-love, radical self-love, it will take you to those places. And I say I don't care, but then I'm bringing it up. I hate watching content. Let's throw this out there. I love going into the mind. I hate watching content where the content creator pins on themselves and they start going, oh, guys, don't look at my hair. Oh, guys, don't look at this. Don't ignore that, because you're showing us your insecurity. And don't feed the haters. Don't feed the public. Like, hold firm on that. But I'm also kind of a big blah kind of person in content. I just speak and say and just let it all hang out. So I will overshare as well. But there's parts of me that internally go, I wish I didn't have to be so forward and give people the inner workings of my mind, because they don't need it. They're only going to use it against you eventually if they ever get the chance to, you know. You've got to understand that the world is full of really rotten souls. Beautiful way to put it. Hence why we have this account, XOXO. Do you see me over here just being an absolute wanker sometimes? Because what I learn about tarot and reading for people is it takes you to a dark place. When I first started doing my content on YouTube, for the community that I was in at the time and the collective that was coming forward, there's a lot of people that never really knew tarot, a lot of people that weren't spiritual, a lot of people that had a lot of dark, negative, demonic omens and bad energy attached to them, and they weren't watching content for anything positive. They were just trying to hack life, or they were just trying to take what they could. It was really dark and negative, and there's so many different stories I can go into. I just learned a lot. And in that moment when I realised, whoa, if social media is really working this way, taking the views, if social media is really working this way, right, and spiritualists like me are coming forward and we're building collectives to this degree, and obviously I was studying different kind of spiritual kind of more so tarot readers, but mediumship, like stuff like that online, not from a numbers or analytical standpoint, but more so the socialization of it all. I care about socialization, guys. Yeah? So annoyingly, I wish I could be a bot and a clone and just do what social media wants me to do. Oh, to use X and get numbers, you have to do this. To get numbers on this platform, you have to do that. I can't. I'm so disobedient, guys. I can't do it. I've got to do what I want to do. My sacral will be off. I'll be depressed. I'll be low vibe. Yeah? I won't be okay mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It won't do it for me. I've got to do me. Selfish I am. Imagine I'm out here living for me, not the numbers, not the clout. Yeah? Not the appearance, just me. Imagine. And I'm still full of it. Gorgeous out. But that's what life should be, guys. You know? It's heaven out here. I used to spend all my life out here. I nearly came and lived, not in this location, but a different location in London. I nearly came out here and lived for good. I was just going to set up. Because I remember I saw that one woman, didn't meet her. Sometimes I act like I actually know people because I'm so empathic. Sometimes you watch stuff. Like, what's it called? Parasocial. Parasocial's a real thing that's going to kind of take over the world in the future. So a lot of stuff I do, people won't really understand online. Like parasocial relationships, they won't get it. They'll just think I'm a dickhead or some loser or deranged, but I'm a awesome human being that's not scared to kind of challenge the status quo. Can you see that those beautiful kind of like reddy pinky flowers just there in the middle? Stuff like that I love. Do you see that's just art? There's loads of it in the back over there, but do you see that bushel? It's not even a bushel, what do you call it? I'm not trying to be so posh, but it just stands out, doesn't it? It's like, this is art to me. This is emotion. Stunning, isn't it? I'm not sure what you can actually fully see, but it's just gorgeous. I just love it. Yeah, this is healing. This is earth. This is Mother Gaia. This is nature. This is what it was meant to be. And yeah, I was going to move to a location like this. Like there's this old white lady. So it's probably like a decade old, probably like 12 years, maybe even 16. And she bought her own house in the middle of on some local land or forest. I don't even know what area it was. It could have been Epping. But yeah, she built it with like clay and whatever fucking material she got basically, and she lives in it. It's quite nice. And in my head, like, because it's really old, when I was younger, in my head back over to this way. That patch of land that looks like it's next to the water again. We might be looping back around, but there is a lot more land further down, and we've probably got less than half a mile up that way. When I used to run this whole place, I used to be fabulously fit, but we're not there. We're finding our way again. And once again, it's when you remove certain things out of your life, guys, and I don't want you to be judgy or judgmental of the self, because when you remove something out of your life, you lose that charge, that energy, that chi. That's like having one less energy card in Pokemon, yeah? You're absent of something, so you fill it with something else. And you give you more time to something else, but it's about that balance. It's hard. In my head, I'm getting KSI again as an example. Now he's left sidemen and moved them out the way. He's going to have to reshuffle, and now he's got more time to do this or that, what he wants to. But over time, he's going to realise, actually, that's not working well on my schedule. I had a better flow when I did this. I had a better flow when I did that. Do you know, it's better when I eat lunch at this time. It's better when I fast and have dinner at this time. Like we all have to go with that, right? So with me, I'm really processing a lot of my time when I was in the experimental phase, and I was doing loads of different kinds of content and testing out loads of different apps. I was always present, I was always showing my face, I was always out there, so I had to stay looking good. I've turned that off. I don't even try. I'm in my like hippie era of zero fucks. I can't remember the last time I tried to buy clothes or really dress up and go out there and look good or really put makeup on. Like now and then I might slap it on if I'm gonna do something. But beyond that, I'm just outside rough. And it's so nice compared to the perfectionist I used to be. And I worry about falling back into that space. So I'm really apprehensive of that. And once again, I've spoke about all these celebrities and all these people on social media. Do you see them showing up social media influencers? No, you don't. Because they're out there doing different things. Or a lot of them inside, hating their reality because they can't even have a normal life and walk down the street without being seen. You know? Really nice path. Well, think about life as you know it and where you want to be with it. This is just a stone throw away from me. Everywhere around here is a stone throw. So much land everywhere. Like this is like such a blessing, you know. But when you're out, when you're focused on something else in life, loads of people are working a 9 to 5 or busy hours. They don't get out much. 2025, all the way up until 2025. All throughout 2025 as well, I was really deep in the mechanics. It was the time in life where I really got to get all of it out of me. You know, all of the chakras, all of my inner workings of the mind, everything I ever wanted for self. Like, just go, let it out. Don't be scared to think or feel or see. Write down that vision. Believe in that dream. Manifest that reality. What I realised for such a long time, what I believe for such a long time is money is not needed. You don't need money. It's about living an earthly, natural life. You don't want to be materialistic. You don't want to swear. You don't want to be egoic. And I struggled with swearing. You don't want to smoke. You want to eat vegan. Like, if you want to be a spiritualist, you have to have this kind of life and live by these rules. And something wasn't working for me because it wasn't true. Because I come from a place and grew up on the streets where you got gypsies over there screaming, and you got Jamaicans all over the place running up their mouth. Then you got hardcore Brits running up their mouth as well. We had a few Asians as well. Interesting, we don't really have any Mexican over here. I've acknowledged that. You can't get good quality Mexican food and real authentic Mexican food in the UK. No offence, there's places out there, but I'm not in the area where there's Mexicans. Where are there high population of Mexicans in the UK, in London? Let me know, because I love Mexican food. It's potentially my fate. I used to love Italian food as well, though, but I'm not really into Italian food anymore. Although today I am going to make a nice prawn like linguine, I think. I really know. Oh, maybe with some sun-dried tomatoes or something like that. See, me and food, I just got time for food. Me and food are well acquainted. We know each other well and we love each other, period. Food does not deceive me. Food does not lie. Especially when I make it. Food that you get from takeaway and food you get out of road definitely lies. And gives you a runny belly when you go to a dusty location, which I don't do. So we don't need to go there. But I'm glad I got out today with you guys. We're going to do some more content like this. I think this may be the content for her 7D consciousness, yeah? I think we're just going to put it out over there. Especially if I do it this angle. I'm just giving you the workings of the mind, as I like to do. But maybe we'll come out here and do more content like this. This may be the lead up to me coming back on screen, but I'm not going to do it all the time. Because I'm still healing, I guess, from being an overgiver. And there's a lot of people I don't like from my past, that's the truth. Let's keep it one, Hannah. A lot of people that I've had to try and make peace with, and it's just a lot of people that are nosy and inner, and I get this stalking energy still. I can't imagine what celebrities really go through. I'm so mean on my XOXO account. It's so sad because I could be nice, but it's dystopia, and the world's only getting the worse. And I'm building the machine, and I see what it is, and I try to tell the line between the light and the dark. You can head over to my Utopia account and chill there, and look at all of my other platforms. I'm actually genuinely a really nice person, loving and kind, but I've got to be harsh sometimes and just give you my true raw opinion, especially when I'm coming from a community stance that where their opinions and perspectives aren't sweet and buttered up and nice and namaste. I'm not giving namaste to somebody who ain't namasteing, if that makes sense. Do you get what I mean? Ain't no point of me going, hi, namaste, to any low vibrational, demonic, thieving, frauding motherfucker who's just taking from my soul. Do you get what I mean? We're not giving out offerings to people who don't go to the temple. Yeah? We're not filling up the... I can't remember what it's called because I don't even know now. But yeah, I'm not going to hand out Bibles to someone who don't know Jesus. You can try and give it to them, but they're going to just use it as what, a door stamp. Do you get what I mean? Don't waste your time, yeah? That's when when you fall scripture, like like back in the day, like we all go through that phase. I always encourage people to read the book, something like the spiritual enlightenment of ignorance, something like that. I always post it on one of my accounts. Some of my community posts on my two main YouTubes. The Spiritual Ignorance of Enlightenment, I think it's by Mike George. It's not really a long book at all, but it shows you all areas of your life and what it means to be a leader, philosopher, CEO, anyone who takes on a spiritualist, pastor, guru, anyone who takes on one of those higher level roles where you help other people, even someone who's gone viral or influencer, we could account that too as well. Anyone who takes on those higher level roles, a parent, matriarch of any kind, leader of any kind, yeah, bossy, loud bitch in the group, whatever. Other people look to you, they bend, they bow, they do what you tell them all the time. It's about how you use that. It's about how you don't become consumed by that. It's about how you don't become ignorant to your power. Yeah? And when I started to realise that I had a collective or a community where people would come to me for readings or see me as that spiritual guide, but just look at me as that and not as themselves as that, I knew there was dissonance and I knew I fucked up. In that moment, she knew she fucked up. And that's when I was like, no, we're going to stop. We're going to hodl. We're never going to hodl. We're going to stop. We're going to close this down and we're going to go away. Any real philosopher and researcher would do the same. And we're going to sit with our findings. And we're going to run the analysis, the meta-analysis, the systematic review. And we're going to make this right. And we're going to build what we need as a result of what we've discovered. And this is a life lesson. This is a life discovery. This is the philosophy of life. This is the school of hermetology evolved out of thin air. But then, because I want everybody to be self-motivated. I want you to be awesome. I don't want you to just listen to what I say and my words and take my wisdom in. I don't want to give you advice. I don't want to read you tarot and then you go away and you do what I say and then you come back and say, yeah, that came true, I've done that, what's next? No, you tell me what's next. Don't just look at me, don't just listen to me and follow fashion. Jamaican, don't follow fashion, yeah? But understand how I do what I do and be your own version of that. Learn from the other. Yeah? That's what it's meant to be about. Get yourself around the right people that you can learn from. Not that you can copy and flex like or try to be like. No. God made you special, you know. God made you. God made you real special. Where are we going? Where are we going, guys? I'm going to go this way. Sometimes I should branch out and go a different route. That leads to the lake. No. That leads to the lake. That leads to the lake. These all lead to the lake, low-key, but then over there, that leads to a through route that goes all the way down, but alongside the main road. It's not very scenic. But this way, we kind of came from that way. This way, that little gap, that leads to a connection, an intersection that takes me back to the generalised area where I kind of came from, and I can take a side road. So I'm going to kind of leave you guys. I hope you found solace in that. I mean, it's an hour and 16. My content normally is a lot of me talking for over an hour, and it's the most beautiful, healing, serenading thing for me. Like, can you tell how much words I have that come out of my mouth? They're so neuro. I just got to speak and speak and speak. I got shit to say, and I don't need you to intersect. And the thing is, it's so rude, isn't it? I mean, you could tell I'm a hermit and I've been alone for a long time because I love a monologue. But I do love other people to speak with me. But I love talking to people who know how to just cut me off in speech. I don't need you to wait for me to finish my sentence. Do you see what I mean? So it's hard for me sometimes. I used to work with loads and loads of people. I'm fine. But now that I'm full hermit, fully hermetology, fully on my own, doing monologues more time, I really value the moments and the relationships where you can have a full-on hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, or just an evening, a day, some quality time with someone that you love and care about, and they just cut you off in speech, and they go and you go, but it's just so fluid. It's gorgeous. Instead of it being, oh, you finished now, can I intersect? And that's what you get a lot in staff meeting. That's what you get a lot in boardrooms, in C-suites, in government, in the House of Commons. I love House of Commons because what do? They rap, they flow, don't they? They immediately, my turn, speaker says go, and they're just running their monologue. It's theirs, isn't it? It's their statement, it's their truth, it's their narrative, it's their way, and it's rap. Whether you believe it or not, it's poetry, it's art form, it's flow, it's fucking flow state. It's so hot. So many more people in this world who are public figures. Trump paved the way for this. Who are public figures, celebrities, famous. They're all moving into the presidential era. The way I see it in the future, the only real people that are going to be presidents now and leading the world, celebrities, those with the biggest numbers. Yeah, it's numbers. It's a number game. It always is. And there's many of us that pull away from that. And I say it's a number game whilst not choosing the numbers. So there's a benefit in that. Because if it really was a numbers game, I would be in the numbers, wouldn't I? So there is a glitch to that. The only thing that outweighs numbers... Have a guess. Go on. I like doing pop quiz. Go on. Pause it. 5 seconds. Guess. One thing. There's only one thing in the whole entire world that outweighs numbers. Go on. Guess. Come on. Hurry up, guys. You're taking too long. 5, 4, 3. Come on, you're wrecking your brain. You haven't got the answer. You're failing the class, guys. I can't believe it. You know what? My laces are undone. You've got more time. You've got more time. Let me do my lace. You guys didn't even get to see my fit today. These are old trainers as well, but when you kind of wear trainers in and they're just comfortable and you just love them. The answer is, guys, intelligence. Yeah? Intelligence, darling. That's the answer. The only thing that outweighs the numbers can glitch the map, hack the map. I shouldn't say hack like this because I feel like I'm always living in cheat codes of life. But it's intelligence. Because intelligence can shift all tides and numbers will move with the intelligence. Numbers... Oh! Yeah. Full on infestation there. But numbers are driven by intelligence, isn't it? So you can choose to be a driver. That's higher level mechanics. That is. That's a layer. If you haven't read my guidebook series on are you a layer slave or are you a layer master? Yeah, that comes down to that those layers there. You got to know how to master a layer, and it's not one layer. You got to be layerization, I call it. I don't know if that's a real thing yet. I'll check. Do you know what I love? When I first started doing my research, a load of these words that I'll say, like decentralization or like DC terms and layerization, they never used to be words, like you couldn't Google them and find anything. Now AI has integrated into Google nicely enough. Any word I come up with off the top of the dome, still not really recognised, I can Google it and there'll be an accurate meaning. So I can start talking to you guys more fluidly, using words that only a physicist, someone into kind of quantum mechanics would know, someone who does multi-cross discipline, someone like Peter Russell, right, would understand. Now you guys get to understand it a lot more, which is so nice, because sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, they're not going to get that. And that's obviously a bit obnoxious as me, talking about the two views I have, which are both mine. But it's like, you process it and you go, that's not comprehensible to them, because I've spent such a long time being in the pseudoscientific lane, the conspiracy theory lane. It's taken a long time to get to the place where it's become solid science, you know? And there's so much more to kind of... Hold on, I've done this lace a bit too tight. I can feel it chafing on the back of my ankle after I just said I've worn these shoes in. Got like this little view here as well. It's gorgeous here. A lot of little dogs that just come splashing in here. This is actually where we saw the dog earlier, I think. Maybe? From the other side. No, that's further down there, actually. Nice. It's really nice out here, you know. Really nice. I'm the kind of person that would like to swim in this as well. That's the thing. That's me. Haven't done that. I also want to do that competition in Wales, that bog wash. Is it called bog washing competition in Wales? I've got it on my first ever publication on hermatology.me in the press section, right at the bottom, after the comic, I think. I put all like the different events throughout the year on there. That was many years ago, but obviously they're annual events. I wanted to do the cheese wheel event for years, but the way I'm fat right now, I would die on the way down for fat. The way I would tumble and crack my neck would be unreal, mate. Nope. I'll buy cheese, it's alright. I don't mind a little bit of special offer. Extra mature. That will just do me for now. Okay, well, I lost the losing train of thought, but we'll talk about the science of the conversation, really, won't we? And the role of that. For a long time, I felt like my shit wasn't popping scientifically. Like that's my heart. It's like the science of it all, and spiritual of it all, the integration of it. So, because I felt that shit wasn't popping, because philosophers and researchers just wouldn't really. There was no one for me. At least in the UK as well. Do you know how hard it is to kind of? We came from that way. We've got to go back though. I can't be here all day. But do you know how hard it is to kind of come from an environment where you can't get the researchers or the scientist to really do anything other than, I want to say null your hypothesis, and then that makes me sound egoic and foolish, because that's what's meant to happen. And if I can't get the peer reviews on the null, but before I can even get the peer review or the null hypothesis, I would have to submit to a senior lecturer. I would have to submit to another professor and their regime, and they would have to want to co-sign what I'm doing. And if my approach is too whimsical, too out there, too mumbo jumbo, too bippity boppity boo is what I would personally call my shit, then I've got nowhere to go. So when I first realised, just after my dad died, when applying for my thesis, and that was my MPhil, like doing my masters and thesis at the same time, when I applied for that, even before kind of graduation and stuff, I said, let's just go for it straight away. And they were like, no, we would need to shape it into something more something more conformist to a certain degree. Like, it would have to fit mould. Yeah, I realised, well, I can't go anywhere. And I already had hermetology there cooking on the side, the school of hermetology, but I didn't realise it was really going to be a solo mission from then. And I'm so wrapped up in self, I didn't often even acknowledge what everyone else was doing in their lives, because I think a lot about music artists and rap artists a lot, and I think about what it means for them, or everyone, celebrities, anyone out there who don't work a standard 9 to 5, right? But they have to make their own bread through that. You done one movie once, you weren't on one TV show, you done one series of a TV show once. That money don't last forever. But the sad truth about that reality is now you're put on in the public eye as a public figure, and you're seen, and everyone automatically assumes you're well off and you're rich. It's so sad to know some of the women that I really idolised growing up are some of the women that have been the most brokest and now do OnlyFans to survive. No offence, queens, because I love you and I'm going to call your names out and I don't want you to be offended, but I love Jodie Marsh, I love Kerry Katona, I love Katie Price. If you're British and you're really British like that, they're the women that we looked at, yeah? Especially if you've got a giant chest and you're looking for adequate role models that advocate for what you look like and what you represent and how the rest of the world would like to see you on the cover of page 3, then you're going to love Katie Price. Do you know what I mean? If you desire about wearing a belt outside, just outside, popping up to the club in your belt top and your belt underwear, pull up, let's go. Jodie Marsh, please. What, you are the sponsor for Iceland, and you're walking around as the Iceland Mum of the Year? Come on, Queen. Kerry Katona. That's British culture. That's black or white aside, in my opinion. Yeah? But a lot of people will say, Sally, no, darling, you're wrong. You're white. You coconut, you. But it is what it is. That's me, yeah? But with that, all of these women have gone... all of these women have gone bankrupt, from my understanding. I don't know about Jodie Marsh. Katie Price has gone bankrupt multiple times. Kerry Katona, same thing. You know, both of them now use OnlyFans, and that's their main source of income. So imagine that kind of life, and that's just one example. Imagine that kind of life, yeah? Where you're in the public eye, you're seen as this sex symbol, you're out there making all this money, and suddenly now you're cut down and you've got to find a way to live and survive. And it's different for them, because it's even harder for them, because they were just pin-up women, as seen as. Kerry Katona, different music artist, Atomic Kitten, big deal. Natasha's dropping a brand new album coming up. Everyone go and check out Natasha. I just followed her on XOXO account, hermatologist account on X. And yeah. You think about all the other artists that are out there. Like, I don't want to be harsh. I'm going to just say what it is, though. But for example, Drake, right now, he's considering selling half of OVO. Rihanna, in the same boat with Fenty. Jay-Z's supposedly considering whether or not he's going to have to buy half of Fenty from LV. Do you see? It's constant situations where we haven't even been experienced enough and have the background knowledge or expertise on how to manage our money in these new terrains. And this is really important for the future. And why I say that and why it's so nice to speak about those white women is because I really like to push the boundaries and remove ideologies of race from the conversation, because so many people think what we go through a lot of the time is race. Yeah, and sometimes I feel like I'm race baiting by even bringing up the conversation of it. But it isn't that, you know? It isn't that at all, because at the end of the day, when we talk about the Kerry Katona and we speak about the Katie Price of the situation and the Jodie Marsh of the conversation, and we fly over to Drake and Rihanna, and then we fly over to I don't know who else we've got, we're going to leave it there. The ideology that it's a black culture or anything like that, no, it's a deprived culture, yeah? It's about the deprivation, it's about our lack of intelligence. Because the way I look at it, every time that I hear Katie Price has gone bankrupt again, I'm like, all the money that she's had in her life, why has she not been given the education she needs to understand how to manage her wealth? Because she makes a lot of money. She's made a lot of money, she keeps losing it. Or same with Kerry. Same with Kerry. And that's British culture again. I can always speak on British culture more than others. But when it comes to Drake and Rihanna, I'm thinking about black popular culture, music. Yeah? Grew up from a young period of time in the spotlight, money, flashy, cash. How much money, they've got accountants, they've got other people to do that. That's why I love Cardi B so much, you know why? Because that girl went in from the strip club hustling by herself to make it to Forbes and the level that she's at. And she goes in and what does she say? The one thing I regret? Not studying business. Not being able to manage my own accounts. That's the dumbest move I made. All of you go to understand business. All of you go and understand finance, because the money that I have to pay somebody to manage my finance and manage my business, that's what eats away at my net. That's what makes it hard for me. Shoe problems again, guys, now. Never touch your shoes when you're out and you've locked in on the shoe ratio of tightness to looseness and sock wear, because now we are luckily nearing the end of our pathway. But seriously, my lord, irritation is kicking in. It's like my socks are all over the place now. I'm so neuro, I'm so sensitive, I'm like, oh. But yeah, let's finish on the Cardi B note, because that woman's going to make it to the top of Forbes. Beyonce's the richest black woman in the world, #1 on Forbes. Cardi B's coming up right next to her. I'm sure Cardi B in the future will probably knock her off the top spot, to be honest with you, because Cardi don't play. She came from the strip club, climbing Forbes like an absolute nutcase. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. Because the point being, you have to understand the culture and the limitations within your culture, all of our cultures. Let's go back to Gypsy while we're here again. A lot of people have opinions on Gypsy and Gypsy culture, and you got Venezuela and her husband, Venezuela Fury, yeah? Gypsy King's daughter, yeah? Gypsy community, they don't go to school, you understand that, right? They leave school by the age of 7. A lot of what I do at the School of Hermitology links back to Gypsy culture and my understanding of Gypsies leaving the school system by the age of 7. It's different if you're a Gypsy, and that's your heritage, and you've got a long lineage doing that. And you've got a regime of when your child will be married, meet their person. Like, if you watch all the amazing series, which we need to bring back, like the whole Gypsy shows that used to come on in the UK, great show. Great, one of my favourite kind of documentary series that we used to have. Shows you into the Gypsy life for real, yeah. But I didn't tell you about the schooling system and the fact that they leave school by a certain age, they don't go to school. So their reading and writing skills are not going to be at the level of everybody else's. Their mind frame, how they live in a chalet, how they live on the road, how they travel, is different for everyone, and the culture's shifted quite a lot, right? The heritage is sadly dying out. It scares me a lot. But when I see a black person going, yeah, I'm going to take my child out of school and I'm just going to homeschool them, I have anxiety about that in a total different way. Because where it works for the Gypsy, and where the Gypsy, yeah, where they're saying, are you a divvy? What does he say? It's my favourite line from the last series. Are you an Egypt? Are you an Egypt or are you a Divi? Choose one. Or fuck off then. I love it, you know? That's so culture. That's so homegrown. That's so natural way of speaking in gypsy communities, swearing and the lingo and the way that you kind of speak is so different. Whereas I posted a black girl a little black girl cussing, talking about she's going to beat up somebody else, and I posted that, so this is disgusting. And in my head I said, hold on, how can I love the gypsy culture swearing like this and the gypsy kids swearing like this, but hate the black kids swearing like this? That's not fair. That's bias, hermatologists. Because that black kid should be able to do exactly what the gypsy kid does. And I was like, and this is me, how I intercept my own perception to make sure I'm towing the line. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. But if I remain biased in that instance, the gypsy has his own land. The gypsy has their own community. The gypsy is the closest thing you will know and next in line to the degrees of freedom that the Jewish have. Yeah? The Jewish live a totally different life. Yeah? They're separated, they're isolated, they don't mix and mingle. Same with the gypsies. Different. The blacks don't. The blacks don't have their own and stay away from the rest of the world and isolate themselves. They're integrated into humanity. And they will be more and more. So the way in which we're speaking in certain instances isn't going to work. And if you're raising your child to act like a baddie at the age of 6, it's not a cute look. It's not a vibe, it's not a flex. Because it's already hard for us. And I'm harder on my own people. I say that all the time. So some people will misconstrue the stuff I say sometimes because when it comes to mine, I'm going to be rude because I'm going to speak to you in the way in which we speak to each other. And actually, we don't speak to each other nice. That's half the problem. While we avoid each other in certain instances. Do you know? Because it always comes with that extra weight. And that doesn't mean we need to pull back and change it. We need to sit with it and understand. Why do we do that to each other? Why was black and black violence a thing then? Because we can say it's not a thing. And we can say Trident made it up. And we can say all the things that happen with black. I always go here. People think, why are you always talking about Trident? Why are you always going back to black on black crime? That's dropped now. I'm a futurist. You lot don't know how about that. You lot don't know about causal loops. Go and study a causal loop of socialisation. Go and fucking AI that. Causal loop of socialisation for the black community based on UK stats over the last decade. 20 decades. Over the last 50 years. Eat my vagina, please. Because that's the core of it all. And we're not even running those figures in America. America's light years ahead of us in regards to centralisation and beta testing humanisation. That's why Trump moves like a savage in the house. You want to hate Trump, you want to hate his regime, you want to hate what he's doing, but he just moves savage because he's got that extra insight. And without going too far left or right in the conversation, we're going to pin, right? But we will say, in relation to Obama could have... Why does Trump have more street cred and more pull with the blacks than Obama? Huh? Are black people allowed to act black in normal settings? How on earth do black people get into the C-suite and into all these environments? We dilute our blackness. And blackness doesn't have to be us saying nigger and listening to hip hop. It's more than that. And blackness is such a bigger thing. But there is this lingo and language and way we carry ourselves and dress and our style. If we are really still earthy, black aristocrats are rising. Some black people have never known ghetto or hood. Some black people are prestigious black. Can I say that? That's a silly word, but when I think about Martha's Vineyard, that show, are they kind of... They're not the kind of blacks that you would equate to... Shit, let me move my arms. Hood or ghetto or project, council estate. You wouldn't associate with it. So we're going to chime down, end this here, because I'm going to start getting back to the avenues. It's not even the avenues. I used to be in the avenues environment. We're not there now. We're going down some nice country lanes. Bougie, forcing it, definitely. But we're heading off down to the country suburb strips now. So I must sign off and leave you. So I head towards the private community. But no, seriously, I'm such a dweeb, but I love it as well. I love just chatting shit. Please, let me live my life, man. No, I don't want to know you anymore. I just want to walk around and love trees and engineer stuff and do quantum mechanics. Like, get off my dick, please. You know? I think that's enough. Hope you received that. Feel free to share more. What should we speak about next? We're going to come out again next week. And I'm going to be slimmer by then because I'm actually going to be running every day in between. I'm not going to say cat because it's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. Life is so good. Like, I always used to be outside as well. Like, I like this little area as well. I'll give you a little glimpse of this street because I love this street. It's just so nice, and I love like the closedness of it, like closed, like dead end spaces. And it's a nice little house as well. Really nice properties out here, guys. Really little gorgeous. Oh, this is like stuff like this remind me of my nan so much, but minus the flowers. But it's like, I guess that little wood cabin front door, like, oh, so much stuff reminds me of my nan. It just brings me so much peace sometimes, like flowers and outdoors. And she's been around so much lately in spirit. She's like reminding me of all the stuff we used to do and go out and do in the summertime. She's like, you're gonna have to break the monotony of all the work you've been doing and just kind of let go of the work. I've been working my arse off and I don't give myself credit, and I feel like I lose in life if I'm not just working all the time, you know? So yeah, gorgeous flowers. Gorgeous day as well. Come on, England, come on. Not going to scream in this area, but I do occasionally when I'm by myself and I'm running up and down this street here, back and forth trying to do laps, losing weight, star jumping. Do you know how many times I've gone out and worked and exercised and my body just has not budged at all, and I just chill and I go, no, it's going to get better, I'm going to lose the weight eventually, and then I just get fatter the week after and I'm like, okay, this isn't working, you know? So it's been a long time. I often do come and check on books here, but I was here last week and I didn't see anything, and I said I was going to bring stuff, but I didn't know I was coming this way. Ooh, what's this? This is what I love about the community as well. I've got some really nice books in here in the past. The multi-million copy, I don't know. I like to read more educational, informative books. I've got a book in here, actually I'm going to go home and read that today, read a few chapters of that. It was a book made by someone in the local community as well. It was a book from, I think she was based in Waltham Forest, but it's about women in architecture. I'll take a photo, I'll post it to my account. You'll see it in the media section at the cover of it. Actually, I'll post it to hermatology.me as well. Fuck it, that's a really nice way to hodl on hermatology.me because I haven't put much posts out. Love this tree. Love this tree. Look at it. Stunning. But sometimes I like to forage, but you shouldn't really forage at random places. But every now and then, if I make a massive wildflower bouquet when I'm out, if I see something really nice and exotic, like out one of the lakes, then I'll come back and pull a few of those off the tree and just add it to the bouquet and take it home. But yeah, the book that I'm gonna share with you guys, I'm gonna leave it as the lead on the account after. We've just been hodling on Anonymous and the DOJ. It's a real awkward place to hodl. But and the BIPs, I said I was going to do all this BIP stuff, but I don't really need to. And I keep thinking, how much should I share with the collective? How much should I not? If someone in a high position who actually has sense, because most people I speak to, no offence, don't have a clue what I'm doing. So all the years I've been studying this stuff, I assume everyone around me hasn't got a Scooby what I'm doing. So I play myself down or I overshare. Then next minute I look and I'm like, oh, you did understand what I was doing, because look at what you've done. Look at what you've done after I shared that information with you. Oh, you did overstand, but you built something for yourself instead of building for the whole of humanity. Cool. We'll see how far you get with that. Oh, it collapsed and you're broke again. Sounds right. Sounds about right. So at the end of that note, we are going to sum up that book, because that book speaks about women, but it's a researcher as well. And what she dives into are so many different elements of life in the UK, and what we need to be more sustainable, and what women need to kind of keep being the advocate for this change. And I'll post it because I'm a little bit unclear of it in my mind, and I'm losing sound in one of my ears, weirdly enough. That's got to be a spiritual sign of something. Maybe it's a sign that I've spoken for nearly 2 fucking hours. But I do think I am a lecturer. I see myself as a lecturer without my lecturer suite. I am the chief without a suite, and the lecturer without a class, without the seminar, you know? So we can't always get the funding, but we still got to keep doing, you know? So this is my 2 hours I'm giving to the collective. This is my class. Well done, students. You've made it to the end. I look around, half of you are sleeping, half of you have clicked off, half of you have downvoted, half of you have said, you fucking bore in the comments. This is the new class, kids. Shut the fuck up and learn. Right, I'm leaving you there. I hope that found you well. We are summing up our journey for today. It has been nice to actually go on a really nice long walk with you today, because I don't often do that. So I hope you enjoyed yourself. This is helping me, once again, come out of that energy of, once again, what did I say, unfulfillment? What's that thing that's imbalanced in your life? Because if I didn't choose to do this conversation today, I would have done a shorter walk, first and foremost, and I would have been home sooner, and I would have just went home and made a smoothie. And I hate slowing down the zebra crossing. I'm weird like that as well. I'd rather not be at the zebra crossing and be off so the cars can just go quicker, and then I can just not cross at a normal crossing. Are you one of those people that cross at a normal crossing, or alternatively cross? Because I'm a weird crosser. Like I like glitch the road. And I like to walk in the middle of the street as well when it's a time of the day where I know no one's out, because I feel like I have more space to kind of do lunges and stuff, which I haven't done any of today. I haven't done any high kicks or high knees that I should be. I haven't done any back kicks. I haven't done any lunges. But we did do a nice longer walk, which is still really short compared to what I used to do. I used to do about a 1.5 miles. No, double that. About 3 miles every day, just in general flow state, when just kind of experimenting and doing random content-y stuff in between all my other stuff. It just used to be a 3 mile like kind of warm-up or part of the day, and that was every day. And I'm like, why is my weight just not going nowhere? It's like, because bare minimum is 3, and normally you'll go to 5 if you're out all day, and if you take your stuff out and you're working not at your location, then you're doing maybe 5 miles a day. You don't do that now, and you don't talk as much as you used to. I used to be on the phone all the time and have clients all the time, and I'd be switching calls, and I'll call you back and I'll do this, like I really was on comms. You don't think so sometimes when you're building your own career path, and your own career and your own life doesn't look like everyone else's. Once again, those celebrities, yeah? No one knows how to live like a page 3 star, or the winner of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, or Jodie Marsh, the queen of the belt outfit and the belt era, because no one's done it before. So how do we get to flourish and do all these things, you know? I really do hope, and I always say it's really early days for hermatology, even though we're a decade in now, because it takes real work as a researcher doing R&D to really actualize life. And I hope everyone who's a kickstar, a streamer, who hasn't been in her metaverse yet, with everything we build with a blockchain, with tokens, with cryptocurrency, I just hope, really, really, really hope